What's up, everybody? So we're a few hours away from WWE NXT Takeover. So people are getting excited at this point, and I haven't released my, updates on what I think is going to happen. So let's just go right to it and quickly go through what I think is going to happen very loosely. I think even between NXT and Money in the Bank, this is one of the more... I don't know why I feel this is going to be one of the more difficult ones to call. And I don't know exactly why that is that I'm feeling that way, but I really just do feel that way. I think I'm going to have trouble with this one, but we'll see. NXT Tag Team Champions, Undisputed Era versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, man. Oney Lorcan, what can I say about Mr. Formerly Biff Busick? I love the guy. Called a lot of his matches before he went to NXT. Danny Burch is just a hammerhead, man. He's a beast. And you put him up against Undisputed. This should be a pretty damn good tag team match, especially when used to their full ability. This really, really could be a great tag team match to open it. I expect the match myself to be like maybe an 8 out of 10 match, and maybe to be the third best match of the night. I hope that that's how it goes, because that would be wonderful if it was the third best match of the night, but there's not many matches, let's be honest. It's quality over quantity every time in NXT. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Undisputed Era on this one. I'm going to say they keep the titles, they hang on to those things, and maybe this feud continues perhaps. I just don't think they've replaced enough talent yet to start moving on from there. Certainly, you could put the belts on the other guys, but right now I'm just going to go ahead and say Undisputed Era keeps those titles on themselves. And this is going to be a big one for me, man. The chemistry between Ricochet and Velveteen Dream. I know that Ricochet got banged up the other day, but hopefully that's just bruises and bumps and got the wind knocked out of him stuff, and he's going to be good to go per, like 100% almost for this. I don't know that, but it seems to be at least the case. But Velveteen Dream and Ricochet, this is going to be, I hope, awesome. These guys had a wonderful chemistry in that ladder match at the last TakeOver, and that's the thing that really got me excited for this match, was seeing them interact in that other match was really fun. Their chemistry is just different, and that makes, I think, it exciting. So this one's going to be huge, man. I think that, it's hard to say. Velveteen Dream is Alistair Black is beating him. He's put over a lot of people, even though himself, I think they do kind of see it in a way as, he doesn't always need these wins. He's such an interesting guy. He doesn't necessarily need the wins. I mean, Ricochet is certainly entertaining and interesting with the way he, high flies and the way he acts in the ring and everything. So one guy's character charisma versus one guy's physical performance charisma. I don't know, man. There's a lot of charisma going on here. I know that, though. There's a lot of charisma happening in this match between these two guys. And you know what? It's going to be hard to call, but I'm going to go with Ricochet. I think, he's still new. He kind of needs a big victory or a victory. And I think these guys are going to be very exciting. I hope this match either steals the show or comes in second. I don't think, obviously, based on what we got coming later, perhaps this would be the second match of the night, but I'm hoping that this is the second match. I hope it is the second best match of the night, which is weird. Maybe it'll be the third, though, or the fourth, which is just like, if this is the fourth best thing we see all night, then we could be in for some fun tonight on NXT TakeOver. So many of the takeovers, have outdone themselves. There's only been like 2 or 3 takeovers that were, I want to say, like 7.5s, out of 10 or 8s, that type of, maybe like 7.5s. They've all been so good. A lot of times they one up each other and then they kind of step back a little bit and then they go back up again. And that consistency in NXT has been phenomenal. I'm going to go with Ricochet over Velveteen Dream. And then we come to the Women's NXT Championship. Shayna Baszler versus Nikki Cross. By the way, Mauro Ranallo won't be calling the show tonight, which is something we talked about before. That is a huge letdown. I don't care what you think of the Joey Vick and everybody else. That is, to me, a huge letdown. I wish I could... I don't enjoy I won't enjoy the commentary as much without... nobody will without Mauro, so that kind of stinks. I wish I don't know, man. I just wish somebody else was exciting that could be in there, and I really don't find those guys exciting. But we'll see what they do tonight. Maybe they'll prove me wrong or whatever. Maybe it's just the main roster that neuters them like everybody else. Shayna Baszler versus Nikki Cross. This is going to be an interesting one. I really think that they need Nikki Cross is there as a to fill in the gaps for the women while they try to get more women up. And unfortunately for Nikki Cross, she is definitely somebody that should have won or should win or could win the NXT Women's Championship. But based on her role possibly here with Sanity and what could go on in the main roster, if it wasn't for Sanity and what I think she's going to do on the main roster, I would say that I think that Nikki Cross is going to win this title. I would actually absolutely say that. But because of what I think is going to happen, I think Nikki Cross is going to come up to the main roster, having never held, having not held the NXT Championship here. She's not going to win it. She's not going to win it. She's going to go up to the main roster, not win the title here. Shayna Baszler keeps it. In what I hope is hopefully a brutal fight. I don't know if they can have a very classic wrestling match, but I am hoping for like a brutal fight, which could be the theme of the whole damn night, actually. But so I'm going to go ahead with Shayna Baszler keeping that thing. And then, of course, this is it, man. Johnny, this is the greatest rivalry maybe right now to me in my wrestling universe. Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa in a Chicago street fight. And I hope that it is, the last match, remember we wanted color, we wanted some blood in the last match, and we didn't get it. I thought a little bit of that would have been great, but I certainly believe that they have to do it in this match. Now, maybe they won't, but I think that absolutely needs it. It's a street fight now. It should be brutal. These guys have just been absolutely incredible. You could tell me that a WWE main roster ticket was more than $50. I would tell you I'm not going. You could tell me that I could see Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa in NXT in a Chicago street fight for $200, and I would sign up immediately. That shows you where the products are at right now. Although I probably wouldn't sign up at all for anything $200, but that's just what I'm saying. By the way, this is a good time to stop and remind you that if you guys want to support the show and you like what I do here and you want to see my channel continue and you want to see these videos continue, make sure you guys go over to patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show and become a patron and support the channel. Many of you guys know lots of channels have been coming down, lots of strikes been down, YouTube censoring all kinds of videos. I just saw one of my friends who he just makes videos giving his opinions on things, and his MCM actually dropped him from their network, claiming that he was against YouTube's policies on things, which it made no sense because he's a very clean guy who just gives perspective on his opinion on things. So very strange. They felt his content was against the YouTube rules or whatever. I don't know. He's got a certain political opinion, so I think that's why that happened. Those are the same people that want to tell people to make sure you bake a cake for everybody, but when it comes to your YouTube voice, you're not allowed versus other people. So it's very interesting, which is very creepy on YouTube right now. So patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show if you guys want to keep me doing these videos. Anyway, I think it's going to be a badass fight. I think this is not over still with these two guys. I think there's still yet to be another match. Crazy enough, I would think that this is about the chase now. I really don't know exactly what's going to happen here. I just hope for a entertaining entertaining wrestling match, and I hope that I could see Tommaso Ciampa winning, and then they go to a something at NXT. I would say Brooklyn would be the Brooklyn, New York would be the blowover. That would be the one. That would be the main. That would be what this is all leading to is Brooklyn, SummerSlam, Brooklyn, New York, NXT Takeover Brooklyn. I gotta believe it. So I'm gonna go with Ciampa defeating Gargano, and then we go to that match in Brooklyn. I would think, and let's hope for a great match. I'm so excited for this thing. NXT champion Alistair Black versus Lars Sullivan. This one's going to be about power and possibly about showing some fans a few things that maybe they didn't expect to see or have ever seen in a match with two guys of this size. Very strange when you look at the size of these two. It's a very interesting matchup. It has a very UFC vibe to it almost, because it's just these guys who just are brutal. You know, Alistair Black is unorthodox and crafty, and just has an offense in wrestling that you don't really see that much, and he does it a certain way that's different. I don't necessarily like a lot of guys that do it, but Alistair Black I love. Lars Sullivan is a guy that traditionally I don't tend to always like, you know, brute big dudes like this, but you know, this has the chance maybe to kind of shock some people. It also, believe it or not, and I know that this is crazy, but I'm looking at all these matches, and I know this is crazy. If you were a betting person, you would say the weakest match could be the Shayna Baszler versus Nikki Cross match, but I actually believe it could also be the Alistair Black and Lars Sullivan match, and I'm just talking about placing as far as the best matches of the night. It's funny because those are the two championship matches, and they have a chance to be kind of overshadowed by the other matches, all the other matches, I think. So this match could be a hit or miss, but if they do it the right way, this could be a surprising big hit, you know? Ideally, I would like this match to be the fourth best of the night, and some of the other matches to shine over it, even though it's the NXT Championship. And I would hope that this match will be the shorter one, but that what we see is so different that it just pops the crowd, and it's just and it makes Alistair Black look like a 100% legit champion. But quite frankly, all these, quite honestly, it's not frankly, it's not very frank about it, but it's honestly, all these matches, man, they could all be, if we get all 8s on these matches or 9s out of 10s, I mean, wow. We could be in for a hell of a night, man. Last NXT TakeOver was simply incredible. Will this NXT TakeOver be better? Will it be a little bit worse? Chance, you know, all bets are that it simply will absolutely be better than a 7.5. You know what I mean? So that, you know, you're in for something good when you can say, I almost can guarantee you, I almost can bet my life that it's going to be better than a 7.5 out of 10. Well, right there you get somebody's attention. And if we're talking about an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10 show or a 9.5 out of 10 show tonight, man, I'm going to be salivating until Sunday, until Money in the Bank. My Money in the Bank predictions are coming later. We pretty much sort of given them all throughout the week off and on in different videos and stuff like that, but a straight-up Money in the Bank review is something I'd like to do and put that out there again. Hopefully I'll have that out there later tonight. And that's it, guys. Follow me on Twitter at RealCronin and subscribe down below. Don't miss out on the daily videos that I do. Don't miss out on the news videos, my podcast, what I think about crap. And subscribe, man. Hit that like button down below. Hit up my other channel, youtube.com/corruptedpodcast. We did monetize this last night over there. And monetize this will return to this channel next week. We'll see how we can do it. It will be the only show on Joe Cronin Show that is not wrestling related. It will be the only one that's not wrestling related, and it will come back here to Joe Cronin Show. We'll see if that works out after being on Corrupted for about 8 episodes or so, whatever it's been. And again, please check out the Patreon, man. You get 6 to 8 hours of bonus content a week. I'm recording episodes 99 and 100 of Morning Madness this week. It's going to be crazy. I do a morning sort of vlog podcast that's just about anything, and I put it up on Patreon for $5 or more patrons. And then, of course, if you do $2, you get the Corrupted podcast every week. We'll be live tonight with an NXT TakeOver review. We'll be live right here with the NXT TakeOver review tonight. So I will see you guys tonight for that. And then after that, we'll head over to Patreon for the Corrupted podcast, episode 53, I believe we're on. So that's it. And the only thing else left to say is check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/JoeCroninJCS, because I'll be streaming some PUBG and probably some Diablo at times, maybe tonight and tomorrow on Twitch, and my gaming channel on YouTube, which is youtube.com/JCSGaming. It's a lot of shit to remember. But, you know, if you're bored, you need a lot of content, we're providing it. I'm providing it. Who's we? Well, we as in, I guess, the patrons, right? Because if the patrons weren't here, I wouldn't be doing this anymore. So thank you to them. And I'm going to sip this water now. Here's some videos you might have missed. And if you missed them, click on them and watch them because you missed them, and that's stupid. Why would you miss stuff? My name's Joe Cronin. Don't miss stuff.